What's up, YouTube land? Ricky here with another Transformers video review, and today we're going to be looking at Transformers War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Starscream. Now this is a guy that I had been waiting for a while, a figure that I was very much looking forward to. I was waiting since the first game came out for this toy, and I was so glad to have him in hand. He's an awesome figure. I cannot say enough about this toy. Now, we have a few issues. I mean, you can see here that there's a little hollow gap there with his head, and he does suffer from visible head syndrome. It's right there, but what are you going to do? But he does have a gap there, which is a little disappointing, but that's it. He's kind of robot junky underneath. Of course, these are his legs, and those are his arms, but it's not too bad. From the side and from the top, it's an awesome representation of him in the game. He has no landing gear, so he doesn't roll, so this is pretty much it. He's a brick. So, for that being said, let's bring in, for a size comparison in vehicle mode, we will bring in Ultra Magnus here. We'll hold Magnus up to this Terrajet, and you can see that Starscream is way bigger than Magnus. He's not as he's even bulkier than Magnus. Get Magnus out of the way there. And we'll focus back on Starscream. That's the main event of this video. Now, to start the transformation, you want to take off his little guns here, which they're both exactly identical. So let me show them off a little bit up close. They're really massively detailed. Awesome little Gatling gun, and they do rotate. Let's see if I can get that on camera. They both rotate, so that's pretty awesome. There's a really cool gimmick with this that I'll get into in a minute. I'm not going to dwell on it too much right now. Now, onto his transformation. Now, Starscream has a very simplistic transformation, but it's still involved enough to be fun. You want to take the tip of the nose cone, flip it under, come back here, untab the leg. There's a little peg right here that tabs into this hole in the legs. Untab this leg here. Bring this whole section down, and look, he's looking at you. Then you want to take the arms, bend out the elbow, pull them out, position them how you see fit. Turn the fist. Now comes the tricky part. You want to bend down here, it's up like this, bring it down. Then you want to turn this part here. You want to move the arm out of the way, move the arm out of the way, bend it down. Then you want to take the head, flip it up, rotate it around. Then there's another hinge. I don't know if it'll come up on my camera very well. I'll try to get it to focus here. There it is. There's another hinge right here. And you want to take this whole section and bend it up like that. Then collapse it back down. You have this long tab that's going to tab right there in the back of his butt. Right in there. Bring his head back, tilt it up. Fold these little guys down. Then come here to the foot. Flip out the toe. Flip out the toe. And there you have Starscream in his robot mode. And I must say it's a pretty awesome looking and menacing and definitely Starscream looking robot mode. Now, a few minor complaints with this robot mode, but again, they're minor. One, we had that hollow gap there in his head. You turn him to the side, and you've got this big hole right here. Raise his arm, and you can see all the way through him. He's very hollowed out in his robot mode. From the side, from the back, from the front and from the back, he does not look too bad. But those are pretty negatives, big negatives in my opinion. But they're not enough to ruin the figure. And he does have awesome light piping. You can look at that, just glowing. His eyes are just glowing already. I can put my finger there and it's gone. There it is. Bam. Bam. Awesome light piping. Articulation, shoulders on a ball joint, move in and out. You can move the wings out a little bit. Oh, and also, another gripe, the shoulders do not tab anywhere. It looks like they should because they have the little slot here, and it's even grooved inside there, but they missed out on it somehow. Upper arm swivel, bend at the elbow, double hinged elbow, actually, if you do it right, double hinged elbow. Rotating wrists, nothing at the waist due to transformation, but that's okay. Hips everywhere, ball joint, knee bend, no thigh swivel. Oh yeah, there's thigh swivel, sorry, thigh swivel. A little bit of toe, and these actually are supposed to move back and forth a little bit on a tilt, the ankles, but my one is real tight, so I can only show you the one tilt. This one is real tight and doesn't move at all, and I'm afraid I'm going to break it, so I'm not going to do that. So there we are. Now, size comparison, robot mode-wise, we'll bring in Jazz. And you can see Jazz is just a little, he's actually a little taller than Starscream is in his robot mode, which I don't know if I really agree with, but he is taller. Just a hair. So, now, to the guns. You can have them in the standard old Starscream style. Using them as his null rays. They work rather well that way. He can also hold them with either peg hole. They're a little tight on my fists are a little tight, but he can hold them with either peg hole. But here's that cool gimmick that I was talking about earlier. We're going to stand him up, and we're going to bring this up here because you're going to see that there's a little tab here. And you'll see there's a little slot right here, and there's another tab and another slot, and that's because these two guns combine. And when they do, when you turn one, they both turn because they're geared locked together, which is pretty freaking cool. And then he can hold it with one hand, but because of the positioning of the pegs, you can actually have him he's supposed to be able to dual wield it, and I've never had a problem getting him to do it until now on camera with it holding together. Whatever. Anyway, he can dual wield it and blast you to Kingdom Come, which is also, in my opinion, pretty freaking cool. That light piping is just amazing. So, the big question overall is, do I recommend this guy? The answer is a resounding yes. Pick him up, please. If you find him at retail, get him. If you have to go to Big Bad Toy Store, Robot Kingdom, Toy Arena, any of those websites and pay for a shipping or a import fee, buy him. If you have to get him on eBay, he might be worth it if he's not too expensive. Because he is a Starscream, he's going to go pretty high on eBay. But that being said, he's somewhat worth it, especially if you're a collector, if you're a completist. Pay whatever you have to for him, but I wouldn't pay above retail or an online toy store. But definitely pick him up. He's worth every penny. So I guess that's all there is to say, and this is Ricky once again saying, we'll see you later.